I'm thinking, I don't know who made her team captain. And he's like, we know there'll be chaos where you are. We saw it happen in the arena, we saw it in the afternoon. We'll see it again this night.
Chaos or no chaos, I always win. That's what matters.
Why do I not talk and say I should not talk?
It has been Faith, 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 Faith. He has been called different names in the past couple of hours. But what did this guy actually do? And is he right or is he wrong? For very good reason, I intentionally decided not to rush into this particular video about this particular guy or housemate called Faith, because I wanted to gather as much information before I dish it out to you, because you deserve the best and nothing but the best. So here I am talking about the whole story of this housemate called Faith, and why it looks like the entire housemates, like the entire 28 housemates are against him, or probably let's say 27 or 26. Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Lucy's Script when talking the Big Brother Naija show season 10. No zero, no minus, 10 over tears, 10 over basketballs, 10 over drama, 10 over love, and everything in between. In case you're still yet to subscribe to my channel, please do well to subscribe. And of course, let's have a conversation about the happenings in Big Brother's house. So, I think the best thing to do right here is to drop as many receipts as I can and then leave it to you to now decide where you want to stand or who you think you want to support in the situation called Faith versus the housemates. So I would like to start from the beginning in case you do not know who this guy is. So Faith is a medical doctor and he's one of the housemates, right? And you know, just like every other housemate, he has been trying to get to know people. And probably because he's a medical doctor, right? He's quite intellectual, so he talks a lot of intellectual stuff and he tends to be very serious, right? But along the line, it feels like, you know, he started to mingle with the housemates and have better conversations in terms of other things outside medicine, other things outside books, right? Long story short, at the beginning of the show, when the show started, there was a time I heard that Faith used to sleep on a lady called Sultana's bed. And for some reason, I was wondering why. And then at some point when he was having conversations with some of the housemates, he said, I think there was no bed for him or something like that. Then when I listened to Gigi, Jasmine and Sultana's conversation, right? There was a time Gigi Jasmine was telling Sultana that she overheard Faith telling somebody else that the best place that he sleeps or where he sleeps best is on Sultana's bed. I need you to go with me because this video is going to be divided into Faith and Sultana, Faith and Gigi Jasmine, Faith and Thelma, Faith and the housemates. So now I'm talking about Faith and Sultana. So when Gigi Jasmine told Sultana this, Sultana was like, oh, okay. And me, I was like, okay, maybe there is something happening there. At some point, I could hear, sometimes I would hear Sultana talk to Gigi Jasmine about how she thinks Faith is talking to her and then talking to Emisi, or Emisi is forcing herself on him, or all of that. And somehow it felt like maybe, you know, Sultana kind of liked Faith in some way or the other, but she also liked this guy called Jason J, right? Long story short, after a while, it felt like Faith could no longer sleep on Sultana's bed because someone like Jason J was already there. And then it was causing a kind of conversation. So at some point, Faith was like, he doesn't understand why, you know, that is happening. That's where he usually sleeps and all of that. And Sultana's argument was, it's my bed. I can decide who would sleep on my bed and when anybody will sleep on my bed. And they tried to have a conversation about it, right? But if it feels like, you know, somehow Sultana kind of rejected Faith in the sense that she doesn't want him to sleep on her bed again, or they're just having a conversation, or they're having a lot of friction that she does not want to talk to him about anymore because according to her, he embarrassed her in public, and according to him too, he tried to talk to her but she's not budging. She doesn't want to have a conversation with him, and that was how that conversation went. But somehow, because of how their friction had been, right, it's been a bit of a public show, and you know, it didn't really go down well with both of them. So they kind of decided that, you know what, let's just keep ourselves at arm's length. Let's fast forward to yesterday where they had one of their games, right? And after they were done with the games and they came inside, before Big Brother said they were going to come back into the arena to announce the winner, right? I could just see that Gigi Jasmine was all upset and all of that. I was quite surprised. I was like, number one, I've never really seen this girl like this. What exactly is going on? So while in the midst of all the noise, right, I could now hear that, okay, Faith said something in their group. They all belong to one group. Faith said something about either why is it Thelma and K-Bobo cooking or all of that, or shouldn't have been Thelma and K-Bobo and all of that. And she was like trying to talk to him about it or something like that. But the conversation didn't like go well. And the next thing she started shouting. And all Faith was saying was, see, if you want to talk to me, like, make your points known. You don't have to be all that aggressive. But people started telling Faith that, Faith, you are like triggering this lady, like stay away, because she kept on saying, stay away from me, you this 3 feet tall guy or whatever. And she was like really talking to the guy. And while they were fighting, I just kept on saying, Gigi, I really wanted to understand, like, if you blink your eye in Big Brother right now, you will miss out on a lot of things. What would have caused this? Now, while the results were announced and their group won, he went to jump at Gigi Jasmine to say, you see, I tell you, I always win. And then she got triggered again. She started shouting. They had to like pull him away. And then Big Brother was like, I don't understand what's going on here. Are you guys not supposed to be celebrating? Why are you guys fighting? People just kept on trying to keep Faith away from Gigi Jasmine. Apparently, majorly, he said something that she didn't agree with, and while she was trying to like tell him about it, he kept on standing on the ground that he always wins, he's always the winner, he's always this, he's always right, and all of that. And she was trying to say, not in all situations are you always right? And then we moved away from all of that because Gigi Jasmine just said she doesn't want to have anything to do with him, she just stay away from her. Now, we all know that these guys have a wager presentation on Friday, and they have been divided into 2 teams, the plant-based meals and the animal-based or the meat-based meals, right? And they're trying to like have a debate about which of these meals is actually better. And to be honest, personally, I'm looking forward to it because I feel like this wager is going to be quite educative if they do it right. But let's focus on the 2 teams. So in one team, that's where Faith is, right? Faith is there, and as well as some other, I think there are 14 in one group. So there's a lady called Thelma Lawson, and they were having a conversation, right? Next thing I'm hearing Thelma says, the first thing I heard was, you listen to respond, you did not listen to understand. She was talking to Faith, and Faith found that quite insulting, so he had to like retaliate and respond to her. Long story short, she said he called all the things that she had written for the group noise, and she couldn't just take it anymore. So they went back and forth and just kept on arguing. If she said something, Faith would not let it rest. He would have to like say his own thing. And when people talk to Faith will say, but she's talking to me. You guys are not telling her to stop talking to me that way. You are only telling me how to respond. And at some point, even I was like, Faith, it's okay now. Like, let this thing just go. Because she would say, even no matter how small she speaks, no matter the little words she says, he would always like respond. Like, you cannot just have the last word. That was just Faith for you throughout the night. So at some point, she was so angry. Thelma said, how would he look at what she's saying or what she had done as wrong? Is he the only one that wants to lead in the group and all of that? While Victory, who is in the group, was like, see guy, calm down, it's okay, it's all right? He just kept on saying, you guys should also talk to Thelma Lawson. Thelma Lawson was angry. She stands up from there and she's like, you know what, lead, you can have the final, so you can do whatever you want. I am going to bed because I have sacrificed my sleep to make sure that I write out all these things, and now I've written it all out, and you are now coming to come and tell me that what I wrote is noise. Like, how does that make sense to you? So she goes upstairs, and everybody's like, you know, what is it? While she was going upstairs, he was like, you can leave. We are going to be fine without you. And at that point, I was like, is this guy not shifting towards, I don't know, arrogance? I don't know. But I'm trying not to give so much of my opinion. But I was a bit like, Faith, I think you're already like doing a lot. I know that people are saying things, but sometimes you let things go, sometimes you retaliate. But this time you're not even allowing anything go. However, I think that I was also trying to like fight for himself. So Thelma goes upstairs and she goes to bed. All the housemates try to like bring her downstairs, try to talk to her. She refused to like speak. Later on, the next day, right, we have this housemates talking about what could be responsible for the way Faith has been behaving in the past couple of hours.
Please, if at all you need help, please give it to him. He's smart enough to know when you need help now. I'm saying that, like, I told him, like, she's trying to say psychology, say for what?
Now, from the night, early hours of this morning up until now, all the housemates are saying is, Faith was not like this before. Faith was a very cool guy. He was a guy that you want to talk to. He's a guy that you want to have relationships with, right? But they think that the reason he's behaving this way is because he got rejected from Sultana, because he tried to like have something to do with Sultana, but that didn't work out. And that's the reason why he's been on a spiral. He's been on a road to get people angry, and he doesn't really care who is hurt while he's saying the things that he says. Because even while Gigi was fighting with him, she was like, your mouth is just getting you into more and more trouble. There's some things that should not come out from your mouth, right? And then I was like, is it really because Sultana doesn't want him on his bed, on her bed? Like, I'm trying to like fix up the whole thing. So early this morning, around past 8, Tega was having a conversation with Faith, and he kept on saying, see, the way you are going, right? It's not about you saying that you can fight the entire housemates. It's not about you saying you're a one-man mopole. It's not about you saying I always win. The way you are going, if you are not careful, once you are out of the house, you will regret your actions. I understand that it might be coming from a place of pain because somebody rejected you, and maybe you're not used to rejection, right? But the way you are going, you need to fix your behavior before it's too late, before you begin to regret your actions. But Faith kept on saying, see, I'm telling you, I'm all right. Like, it's not about any, what, rejection from who? Who is the person? I'm a speck. Like, what are you talking about? But, you know, Tega kept on saying, I have been where you are before. I have seen this happen before. And for myself, I've gone through this, and I came into the house for better self-development. So I really need you to check it. So while Ortega was talking to Faith, Faith now begins to reveal that, you know, there was a time he was in this kind of relationship, there was a time he was doing all of that, and there was no reciprocal but let's say behavior from the other party, to the extent that he had to carry a lot of things on his head, and he does not want a repeat of all of that. He had never really been rejected before and all of that. So Ortega was like, that might just be the issue, and you need to like fix it. If this person is saying she doesn't want you to be in her space, it's all well and good. It's not the end of the world. Like, fix it before you hurt more people in the house and then go out to like regret your actions. And then Faith was like, you know, he would probably see what he can do to like amend the entire situation. But somehow he was refusing to agree that he's in pain. And then somebody like Ibi Fubara was like, you guys need to help this guy, because she thinks that this guy is just going on a roll because he's hurting from somewhere, and he has refused to like acknowledge it. Like I said before, I'm going to lay down all the receipts about Faith and allow you to now decide whether or not Faith is the problem, or whether or not the housemates are the problem, or whether or not, you know, it's not a problem for Faith to stand for himself because of how he's feeling right now, or it's not a problem for the housemates to like see a problem with Faith. I would like to know all of that in the comment section. Now, before I leave, I would like to talk about a little bit of still more drama going on in the house. That will be between Isabella and Koikuri. Now, I laugh because there was a very interesting conversation last night. I mean, Isabella and Koikumi had a fallout again. And remember from my last episode, I said that at some point, Koikumi was saying something about him being tired of the relationship and all of that. And that made him sleep downstairs. He didn't sleep with her upstairs. And that was one of the things that caused their fight. But the reason I'm laughing is because Koikumi was so mad. He was talking to Imisi. And Imisi like kind of like became his therapist. And the reason I'm laughing actually is because while he was talking to Imisi, he was talking to Imisi and telling Imisi what was going on to get Imisi to support him. But unfortunately, Imisi kept on saying, see, I'm a girl's girl. Like, if you love this babe, you have to work for her. You have to, like, baby her. You have to talk to her. You have to come through for her. I mean, even if she's behaving in a certain kind of way, like, you have to be there for her. And Koikumi kept on like, what are you talking about? Why are you talking like this? And she was like, please, I'm not Isabella. Don't shout at me. With her eyebrows and her catchy on her head, right? I mean, that thing on the middle of her head. She just kept on saying, please, I'm not the person you are dating, so don't smack around me, or don't be angry at me, don't be hostile towards me, right?
You're not ready. I was just saying you're not ready.
What's the thing now? You're a girl, so you don't speak about that.
No chance for me. I'm just trying to find a solution to this whole thing. So what do you want? You don't want that again.
I mean, he spoke to a lot of people that night. I think also Mensa was like, see, this girl really likes you, so you guys should just try to sort out your differences and all of that. So Koikumi tries to talk to Isabella that night, but their conversation was not forthcoming. This morning, they tried to have a conversation. He was trying to say, if there's an issue, let's try to communicate. Don't let us fight about it all the time, right? And she was like, see, I'm really getting tired of all of these things because you are being nonchalant, and I don't know if we can continue all of that. So Koikumi was trying to like talk to her, but she was dozing off, sleeping, and I was like, Isabella, but you know deep down you like this guy. All this hard guy, he's not going to pay you at the end of the day. But talking about hard guys, Kola came back into the conversation, guys. And watched him throughout yesterday into today. Like, he's just trying to like move on from the whole Diddy situation, and thankfully he's reduced how much he's talking about her. But during the night, he talked to Bright Morgan, who is his friend, and he's like, I kind of miss this girl. I tried to like, you know, stay away from her to respect myself, but I kind of miss her. Before I knew what was happening, right? Kola is talking to Midi and he's like, is she talking about me? Is she asking about me? What's she saying about me? Should I really go and talk to her? Midi is like, maybe you should just leave her alone. I mean, she probably thought that you would come to her and talk to her, but you did not, and that has made her angry, so she doesn't want to have a conversation with you. In my mind, I was like, maybe you say you don't talk to her, Kola. You see, the matters of the heart are quite hard, right? You're very unpredictable. However, because sometimes I understand that this could be a script and it's a game, I don't really like hold a lot of things to heart, right? And still talking about hearts, we have Brett Morgan and Mide. So, during the conversation, that's Kola and Brad Morgan's conversation, was like, you're talking to this girl called Ibu Fubara. Is there anything going on there? She was like, no, we're just friends, right? There was Dede and Mide, and they were talking to her, and Mide was like, he spends more time with Ibu Fubara now. Should I be angry about it? And Dede was like, if he's saying that Kaikum is looking at you a certain way, and he's angry because of that, you too be angry because he's spending too much time with a particular lady. Let there be boundaries everywhere. If he wants to claim ownership of certain things in your life, you too should claim ownership of certain things in his life. So, based on that, you know, he comes, Mide goes to have a conversation with Brad Morgan. She's angry with him. He's spending too much time with Ibu Fubara because, you know, Brad Morgan had revealed before that Ibu Fubara and someone like Tracy, they've been trying to like get his attention and all of that, and probably a bit of Isabella, but he's not giving them attention, right? But he's giving just her attention. So Mide talks to him and she's like, you know, you were not happy with the whole Koikumi situation and all of that, but I'm also not happy with the way you're talking with Ibu Fubara. Like, you guys are spending so much time together. And it was like, it's not really like a big deal. And she was like, see, it's a big deal for me. I was like, okay, I've heard you. I will try to reduce my conversation with Ibu Fubara. And she was like, I know that Dede says I like you so much, but I don't really like you like that. I was like, see this, look at this girl. Look at this girl. Come on, get out of here. I don't really like you like that or all of that. But I know there should just be boundaries. Like, let's know where we stand. And he's like, I've heard you. Guys, that's like the update of everything happening in Big Brother's house as of now. I mean, I always say that sometimes when you blink your eye, things could change. So that means by the time you are seeing this video, we'll probably be talking about something else happening in the house. But let me know what you think about everything I said in the comment section. I got you with more updates right here on this channel. Till next time, remember to enjoy every moment. Bye.